I'm a search and rescue officer for the US Forest Service. I've been doing this job for a long time. Most of the time, missing persons cases are pretty straightforward. Someone wanders off the trail, gets lost, maybe slips down a hill or twists an ankle. Usually we find them within a few hours. But there are a few cases that still bother me, cases that make absolutely no sense. One of the strangest things we deal with is when people go missing in areas that have already been searched thoroughly. Sometimes we'll comb the same stretch of forest multiple times, and then suddenly the person shows up in a place we already checked, completely out of nowhere. One case in particular still sticks with me. We were searching for a young boy who had wandered off during a family hike. It wasn't a huge park, and the trails were pretty clearly marked. We assumed he'd just gotten lost, so we started sweeping the area. Search teams spread out across the forest, calling his name, checking ravines, brush, anywhere a kid might wander. Hours went by. Nothing. Then one of the volunteers radioed in. They had found him. The strange part was where he was. He was sitting on a large rock deep in the woods, miles from where he'd disappeared. When they asked him how he got there, he said something that made the entire search team go quiet. He said a man had taken him there. A man who told him he needed to stay very quiet because people were looking for him. And the strangest part? The boy said the man had no face, just smooth skin, no eyes, no mouth, nothing. Kids say weird things sometimes, so we assumed he was confused or scared. But I've worked search and rescue long enough to know something. Children who get lost in the woods usually cry. They panic. They want to go home. This boy didn't seem scared at all. In fact, he seemed almost disappointed that we had found him. When I moved into my new apartment, everything seemed perfect. It was small but clean, quiet building, nice neighborhood, cheap rent. I honestly felt lucky to have found it. For the first few weeks, nothing unusual happened. But then, small things started to bother me. At first, it was just little things being slightly out of place. A kitchen cabinet left open. A chair pushed away from the table when I was sure I had pushed it in. I kept telling myself I was just forgetful. Maybe I had moved things without noticing. Then one night, something happened that I couldn't explain. I came home from work and found my bathroom door closed. That might not sound strange, but I always leave it open. Always. I live alone, no pets, no roommates, and I distinctly remember leaving it open that morning. I stood there for a moment staring at the door. Then I slowly pushed it open. Nothing looked different inside. Everything seemed normal. But something felt wrong. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept feeling like someone was watching me. You know that feeling you sometimes get when you're alone in a room? That strange awareness that you might not actually be alone. Eventually, I convinced myself I was being paranoid. The next morning, While I was getting dressed, I noticed something strange. A small black dot in the corner of the ceiling. It was so small I had never really paid attention to it before, but now that I looked closer, it didn't look like a screw or a mark on the paint. It looked like a tiny lens. My stomach dropped. I grabbed a chair and climbed up to look at it. And that's when I saw the wire. A thin cable disappearing into a tiny hole in the ceiling. Someone had installed a camera pointed directly at my bed. I called the police immediately. When they opened the ceiling panel, they found the rest of the equipment hidden above it. And the cable led somewhere else in the building, into the apartment, directly above mine. The man living there had been recording me for weeks. The police told me they found dozens of videos, hours and hours of footage of me living my normal life, sleeping, watching TV, walking around my own apartment. I moved out the next day. But sometimes I still think about it. All those nights when I had the strange feeling that someone was watching me. Turns out, I wasn't imagining it at all. This happened a few years ago when I was driving across the state late at night. It was one of those long empty highways where you can drive for miles without seeing another car. Around 2 in the morning, I started getting tired. So I pulled into a highway rest stop. The place was almost completely empty, just one dim street lamp near the bathrooms and a single car parked at the far end of the lot. At first, nothing seemed unusual. I parked my car, shut off the engine, and sat there for a moment, checking my phone. Then I noticed someone standing near the lamp. A man. He was just standing there, looking in my direction. I figured he was probably just another traveler stretching his legs, so I didn't think much of it. But after a minute, I realized something strange. He wasn't moving, not even a little. He was just standing under the light, staring at my car. Another minute passed. Then he started walking toward me. Slowly, very slowly. Something about the way he moved made my stomach drop. He didn't look drunk. He didn't look lost. He looked deliberate, like he had been waiting for me to arrive. I locked the car doors. The man kept walking. Halfway across the parking lot, he stopped. For a few seconds, he just stood there again. Then he turned around and walked back to the street lamp. And just like before, he stood there, perfectly still, watching. I didn't wait to see what he would do next. I started the car, pulled out of the lot, and got back onto the highway. As I drove away, I looked in the rearview mirror one last time. The man was still there, standing under the lamp, watching the road, like he was waiting for the next car to arrive. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy mysterious and eerie stories like these and want more, consider subscribing so you don't miss any of my weekly uploads. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.